Take two. This was going to be a quick video, but I already got 8 minutes into the last copy of it, and I realized that my camera was filming it portrait, and I wanted to film it landscape, so I deleted that after 8 minutes and thought I'd start over. So how long this one takes. Maybe I'll make it quicker and stop going off on tangents. Probably not. So I spent some time this evening to make this very ugly looking corridor. So it does serve a purpose in the OBV Classic Space layout. And that purpose is to join my existing layout to Moonbase standard. And the reason why that has this little thing here that goes down 2 bricks is because my Moonbase standard for my layout is different than the Moonbase standard that everybody else uses in the world. And that was only done because I had to overcome one problem originally. And that was I use lots of monorail track. And I also love using, on top of the monorail track, I love using crater plates. And trying to design a layout where the monorail track plays nicely with crater plates became overburdensome, because the way you move monorail tracks around, it would hit part of the crater plates. A lot of people make their layouts just using 48 by 48 base plates, light gray base plates. And that's perfect because you don't have to worry about that. But as soon as you add crater plates to it and you want to add monorail to it, you're going to run into problems where you have a crater plate here and then you have a monorail track that's going to hit the part of the crater. And I said, well, this is what I started doing even before they came up with Moonbase standards. I moved all my monorail up by 2 bricks. Because the entire part of let me see if I can grab one. That's a bit of a mess. Because I was building. The entire crater plate right here, none of this crater part is higher than 2 bricks. Even this point, and I've done some building around that. So what I did is I raised the monorail track up 2 bricks, and then it would clear all of this. And that worked perfectly well for me. The issue, of course, is that Moonbase standard is that layer 1 or layer 0, the monorail is basically right on the base plate. And then layer 1 is 10 bricks above that, and layer 2 is 20 bricks above that, and 30 bricks, 40 bricks. Very, very easy, very, very neat standard. But I didn't do that. I went 0 to 12 because my layer 1, or the base layer, my monorail track's at the 2 brick mark. So my next layer is going to be at the 12 brick mark, and the next layer is going to be at the 22 brick mark, and then the 32 and 42. I did that just because of this. And so if I was going to join my layout, this guy, which is the main building, to any other Moonbase collaboration, I would not be able to, because I would have my corridors, my Moonbase corridors are 2 bricks above their corridors. So I came up with a solution. I built this thing. So this is my side, and this connects to whoever's connecting to me. So this is what I did. It is a Moonbase standard compliant corridor, which I'm going to put into my layout, into my build here. And it's going to be able to allow me to connect to other people's collaborative Moonbase, should I ever get to a show where there's doing a Moonbase. And so this allows me to connect to them. But to do this, because I actually do have corridors in my layout, you don't see any in this one because that was from the Family Fun Fest, which was a very, very small arrangement of my layout. I only brought that and the rocket launch pad. But if you look at the floor plan, the layout, the map, so look at the mess down here. The blueprint, you can see I have lots of monorail track. And of course, what happened is that my original layout was bigger than this, and I actually had monorail at the 0 layer. No, I don't. Not one of these monorail tracks is actually on the base plate layer or 2 bricks above it. They're all at the 12. This one's at the 12 brick mark. This one's at the 22 brick mark. This one's at the 32 brick mark, and it goes up to the 42 brick mark going around here, which is this guy right here. So I actually have but if I expand it again back to the original layout. There's going to be lots of monorail track over here that's on the 0 or the 2 brick mark. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Stuff that you don't have to realize. So what happens here is I've been using this map here to doodle on to come up with an idea. Let's go off on a quick tangent. This also is, I was trying to figure out how many life lights kits I needed to buy to finish lighting up this layout. Because, as I mentioned in my other videos, each landing pad takes 12 lights, right? Because there's 3 on the side, 4 sides, and each of my roadways takes 4 lights. So I did this one a long time ago, and you can look at the videos about that. So it just took 12 lights, but I also put the 2 floodlights on there. So that used the 2 life lights kits for this guy. And then I went up here, and when I just did a couple weeks ago, lighting this thing up. So this took 12 lights, and this took 4 lights. So that's 16. That worked out perfectly well. Just 2 life lights kits, and that took care of these 2. But we're gonna get over here now. And so these 3 are lit. That one's not lit, not lit, not lit, not lit, not lit, not lit. And these 2 are not lit. So I have to get 1 life lights kit for these 2 roadways, because there's 4 and 4. That's 1 life lights kit. Then I'm going to have another 12 lights over here. So that's going to be 2 life lights kits. And that's going to be 2 down here. There's going to be 2 there, 2, 2, 2. So I have a lot more life lights kits to get in order to finish lighting this thing up, which is fine. And of course, these arrows are which way I'm pointing the actual floodlights that I made, the spotlights that I made, because I showed you on the last one that if I have a spotlight here, one can point to the landing pad and one can point to the roadway to light that up. So this is my doodling to figure all this out. But I also, on the same doodling, I was trying to come up with a new corridor plan, because right now I have, it's actually built and it's been in my shows. There's a corridor going from the main building right here from that level, going across all the way to here to the monorail station. And that is at the 32 brick mark. And I said, well, I have to be able to get to the edge of my layout in order to connect to the layout next to me. But it also has to be at the 30 high brick mark or the 20 high brick mark. So I built that guy. And so that what happens there, this guy is going to be here. So I have to rebuild this, because right now this is 1 corridor going across. I'm going to break it apart, and it's going to be a corridor here in an L shape. And then another one's going to come back over here, and it's going to cross to a T, and then it's going to go to the monorail station. Because one of my other plans that has been since the very first time I did a space layout with monorail is to never have anything, not one thing, crossing over top of a landing pad. I never wanted anything interfering with the landing pad, because again, in universe, you're landing spaceships. You don't want to deke out or have things in the way of landing. So if you notice all my old layouts, I can't remember, I don't hopefully I adhere to this, that there's not one thing that covers a landing pad itself. Now they can cross a corner of the landing pad, because again, it's not inside the circle, right? So I don't mind covering the corners. Right, so this monorail track here cuts across this corner of this landing pad, but the actual circle is not interfered with by a monorail track. But this corridor that I built, again from Moonbase, goes right across this landing pad here, and it's always been that way. And so you won't see it on there again, but it's always been there since I started, since I built the monorail station. And so I wanted to eliminate this corridor, and I wanted to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So what I've done now, I've just built part 1, is that you're going to come out of the main building here, the main tower here, and it's going to come out halfway through this 32 by 32, and it's going to go straight to the end to connect to the next guy. And then it's going to go here. There's going to be a T intersection there, right there. That's going to go across here, and then it's going to come over back into here, and I might do another T over here and have some little doodads over here. So it will now, the corridor will not be above the landing pad, and so you'll be able to see that 924 that I have coming in and out of the station, out of the repair bay, and that's what I want. So you can see it from, if this is the front you're looking at, you'll be able to see it without having this big huge corridor blocking your view. So it actually eliminates a whole bunch of problems that I built into this thing when I built this corridor. But of course, this corridor was quick and easy to build, because it goes straight from here to here, bing, bang, boom, Bob's your uncle, nothing else left there. Now I have to build this one. I've built this one. I have to rebuild this one. I have to build this one and build that one and have supports holding the whole thing up, because it basically goes like that, right? It dekes around the landing pad. So now I have to support that, because right now this corridor is floating. It's attached here to the building and it's attached here to the monorail station, and it just kind of floats because it's just, that. So now I have to come up with a superstructure. I have to come up with a foundation. I have to come up with blah, blah, blahs, which is fine, because I want to do something to improve my layout. So I'm happy I'm doing it. It's just taking a lot of work. And since it's not set up, I have to do all the calculations in my head, where the studs are, how long the corridor is, blah, 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 which is pretty easy considering all these base plates are 32 by 32, right? So, but the calculations are in my head. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to put the thing together first, obviously, to see if it works out. But if I'm wrong, I have to rebuild stuff. But doing this guy here, because this guy right here goes right in the middle of the 32 by 32, goes right to the edge. This part will be right on the edge of the base plate here at the back, and therefore it'll be able to connect to the next module, whoever's that might be, at the 30 brick mark level, the third level. And it's right in the middle of 248s by 48s. So that I believe that will line up perfectly with the next module. So I'm happy about that. I have to now go revisit the 48 by 48, the ideas of the moon base standard, to make sure that it's actually going to line up, because I think maybe the moon base standard was not in the middle of 248s by 48s, but right in the middle of 148 by 48, which means that I'll have to move this back. But of course, I haven't built this piece yet, so I can take my time building that. But in the end, this is what I'm working on right now. I'm actually building, which makes me happy. And barring the fact that I have to now support this corridors, all these corridors, I'm going to have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corridor pieces at minimum. But I'm thinking now, I'm not going to have it here. I'm going to have it more over here in the center of this base plate. I'm going to have it come back over here and have something here, or maybe even over here. I don't know yet. There's plenty of possibilities now that I'm actually deking out this landing pad and having these new corridors built, that I can actually do the other stuff with it. I can actually bring it over to here, because this is an empty spot. So I have some ideas. And it'll add to it. It'll add, without too much extra effort, except for building the actual corridors. It'll add some extra details to the layout that I'll be able to do things with. And I'm happy about that, because, I like doing this kind of stuff. So anyway, that's my quick update. I'm just going to leave it on this picture here, because I like that picture. And I'm going to wish everybody well. And this is a quick update. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's staying safe. We had Snowmageddon here today. We dug ourselves out, and we're sitting here comfortably in the evening and winding down the day. So everybody out there, stay safe, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.